So remember the story about Pinocchio. When he lies, his nose grows. And we know that when we touch our nose, there's probably a lie around the corner. Meghan. Oh, Harry. Alright, so it's been a while since I've uploaded, but believing Bruce is back. Remember to show the channel some love, subscribe, comment and give me a thumbs up. Especially interested in your comments below. So the Meghan and Harry Netflix series has landed and the world's went boom. Alright, but in this particular video, I'm going to be talking about what everybody else has missed. And if positively or negatively you're interested in Meghan and Harry, you really need to stay until the end. And remember, I try to be fair and balanced. I don't really like Meghan Markle. I don't dislike Meghan Markle. Same with Prince Harry. Actually, when I've been watching this series, there's some bits of both Meghan and Harry I quite like, and some bits of both Meghan and Harry I'm like, I need to dig that little bit deeper there, at least from a non-verbal communication angle. But like all of my videos, I can only comment on what they do or do not do in front of the camera, and you can't really argue with that. Alright, so I'm not one of these Meghan haters, okay? But if I do say something, and I'll prove to you that it's picked up positively or negatively, alright, if it's positive, you probably need to believe it. If it's negative, you probably need to believe it as well, because I try to be as centered as possible, and I can only go off what they do or don't do or say or not say in front of the camera, and nobody can argue with that. Now the first part's really interesting here, alright, so this is the, the docu-series that Meghan Markle and Harry wanted to show the world. And you'd think they'd put on a common front, and what I talk about is mirroring here, alright? What we've got is a lack of congruence, it's an uncommon combination is what I'm going to say. So the very first opening scene, where you see Meghan and Harry, Harry's adopting the position you would associate with this type of thing, even if we're just presenting a united front. So his legs are splayed, the inner thigh is directed towards Meghan, alright? So he's in an open gesture, his arms round her shoulder. Meghan, on the other hand, is slightly different. What we don't see is her being open to Harry. Her inner leg, the one next to Harry, is the one crossed over. Now we know that's a barrier. In the very first scene, the moment when they should be presenting that front, Meghan's limbic system, the autonomous part of the brain, remember, not the brain where you can, how can I say, maybe manipulate or coerce or deceive, straight away it shut Harry off. Now that's not common. So what is the reason for that? Is it because she can't control Harry at this moment? I don't know. Is it because she might be worried about what Harry's going to say or not going to say? I don't know. But what we do know is Harry's there open, supporting his partner. Meghan has closed herself off, which is not common. And again, this bit here, it's really interesting. Well, they're talking about why did you make this documentary? And what you see Meghan do is this. She absolutely exposes this area here. Yeah, which, if you know a bit about non-verbal communication, is that this is one of the main areas, the windpipe. It tends to be that if our windpipe is compromised, then we die. There's a little bit of a correlation there. But when she says, oh, well, I'm not comfortable with it, or it doesn't, I'm not totally comfortable, actually what her body says is the total opposite. We're looking for behavioural integrity, okay, congruence. Do your actions match up with your words? Now, if Meghan wasn't comfortable here, what you would tend to get is a look down. The body would come in. You'd be protecting your thoracic area. There'd be that ventral protection. We don't see that. It's the opposite. It's almost like the sort of total exposure, minus the arms, the power pose. Yeah, any UFC fighters out there, Conor McGregor does this when he comes in the octagon. I feel no fear. There is, as far as I'm aware, not another pose that shows absolutely that you are not scared in that moment than lifting yourself up and actually providing this area here to be taken out. That's the way the limbic system looks at it. Now, it could be an exaggeration. Meghan's an actress, okay? If she was thinking about something negative and she was uncomfortable, it probably wouldn't be as powerful as that. The eyes might search, or there may be a sigh and then a drop of the shoulders. But the very fact that she takes this up here is that she's totally comfortable making this documentary, and she wanted to because it's her chance to shine. Or it's an exaggeration, but either of them means she's not being true. or she's not being as authentic as she could be. If we look at that bell curve, all right, so where the majority of the population sit in there, for someone to say, I'm not comfortable, and then expose their neck, it just doesn't go together.
I'm not going to say that it's comfortable.
And what proves this is there's no self-soothe either. Remember, on the Believe in Bruce channel, we talk about self-soothes, and they tend to come into two categories. One where you've got skin on skin. So you would expect at this particular time Meghan to do something like that. You know, it doesn't make me feel comfortable, with her eyes wandering because she's thinking about what's not making her feel uncomfortable. But because there's a lack of skin on skin contact, and remember that self-soothe, and you'll notice it when you do it with your thighs or you stop rubbing your arm, that's you telling yourself, hey, come on, it's okay. We've got this. Yeah, we can do this. Because there's a lack of that, there's like a behavioural cluster that if I was there and I was allowed to ask questions, I'd be looking at that as if we've got 2 or 3 things that are ticking my alarm bells to zone in on that and think, well, you know, why are you displaying signs of being totally comfortable, no signs of being uncomfortable, yet orating the words that, you know, this isn't easy for you, when actually your body's saying it looks really easy. And we've got this Pinocchio moment coming up later on in the video that tells you all you probably need to know about Meghan's true intent. And you know, to be fair about Meghan, there is lots of stuff in the video where we're talking about, you know, racism or sexism, her background, and she looks very authentic. She looks very truthful. She looks like she's actually in the moment where there is a total matchup with her words and her behaviours. There's lots of that, and I've got to acknowledge that to be fair and balanced, so you've got to just trust me on this stuff that I'm also pointing out, where it's fair to challenge Meghan that she's not being authentic, or that she's not being truthful, or there's some type of exaggeration going on here. So again, I just want to confirm there's a lot of stuff where she is, but a lot of the stuff what she's talking about, because again of my ability to observe and bring that out and to rate to you as the viewer, I'm onto you, Meghan. At least on some of the stuff here where your veil has dropped. And what I mean by that, there's, you know, she's talking about, I think there's a photograph of her and Harry very early on in a relationship, and we talk about the, you know, the average baseline, that bell curve, which, you know, it was great, it was early on, we wanted a photograph to capture the moment. And when you cut to her, it's just the way, you know, the eyes are wide open, there's this smile there, you're like, okay, yeah, absolutely. You're displaying what looks like the positive affirmations and the behavioural presence of certain clusters that I believe you're in that moment, you're absolutely telling the truth. And we've got to acknowledge that. But there's a lot of stuff where she's not telling the truth, or it will be helpful to be curious and challenging her on what she is saying. Now, what's really interesting from a Prince Harry perspective is he talks about, and there's a lovely part of the video where he wants to protect his kids, where he wants to protect his wife, where he wants to shut down those opportunities for the press to create havoc in his life now and pain in his life now, as they did when he was younger, and to his mum as well. Okay, and we get that. But then also what comes here, which might link the two as well, is that is Harry searching for his mum? It wouldn't be uncommon. It wouldn't be wrong. I want to make that clear. Yeah, to be traumatised on such a public global stage where there's always been a need from a little boy to find that mother figure. And he says, you know, there's a lot of stuff where I see my mum in Meghan.
So much of what Meghan is and how she is so similar to my mum.
So that could be beautiful on one side, if Meghan is the person, and I'm not saying she's not, by the way, all right? I'm not saying she's not, that Harry believes her to be. But on the other side, it's also fair to say, has Meghan taken advantage of that need, of that desire? And is Harry, in order to fill that need and desire, prepared to gloss over some of the stuff, or, you know, to even convince himself that something's right when it might not be so right? What do you think? Leave your comments below. I would say there's one strong bit of conflict when you look between Diana and Meghan. You know, Diana was known for proactively, strongly trying to get her and the kids out of the limelight, away from the cameras. We've just seen that bit of footage before. Yeah. Whereas Meghan, on this one aspect, seems to be the total opposite. I get it, she's an actress, she's a performer. She's used to the limelight. She needs the cameras. It's been part of her career. Even the fact that she's making this documentary and bringing the cameras into her home, getting them to follow her around, giving all the footage that they've got. And I get there's an aspect across here, but well, why can't I tell my story? And absolutely, everybody should be able to tell the story. But what I'm saying is, when you look at that one aspect between the difference of Diana and Meghan, there couldn't be more poles apart. And now we come to a Pinocchio and we've got a double baseline between two people. All right, this is strong. All right, this is absolutely strong. I was talking about, in fact, I get asked a lot of the time, do I deliver training courses? The answer is yes, I do. Whether it be big seminars or classroom-based training. If you're, a leader, a director, a manager out there, and you're interested in getting the best out of your people, be it performance, mental health, well-being, leadership, communication, anything like that. If you've got any seminars or training programs, I'll leave the link below if you'd like me to come and work with your organisation. I was delivering a training course last week and we talked about behavioural clusters, okay? Behavioural clusters are so powerful because usually it's one person giving them off. They might, be doing 2 or 3 things together from a non-verbal basis that sort of locks it in. Okay, that's definitely what they mean. What we've got here is Meghan has asked a question about, has she proactively went out to do anything to, let's say, irritate the royal family? It was something along those lines. And what you would expect is, no, never, opening up, palms shown, I hold no weapons, I hold no anger or danger. But what you see is Meghan look down whilst laughing and touching her nose. All right? There's a number of powerful behavioural clusters there that are enough to say, oh, stop. All right? Let's just have the crack here. All right? Where's the normal stuff you would expect, especially on this stage when she knows millions and millions of people, including the royal family, are going to be watching it? But what we see is that little look down, the little smile, and then the touch of the nose. Okay, so there's 3 things, again, with an eye block in there. The eye block's quite powerful. What is she thinking of that makes her look down, smile and laugh, touch her nose, and the eye block? But what's even more powerful, it then goes to Prince Harry, and Prince Harry does exactly the same. He does exactly the same. Now, this is not just mirroring, this is mirroring with a negative context. Both of them, subconsciously, or even consciously, depending on that level of awareness, when they're being asked the question, and I don't know what it is, right, about agitating the royal family, are you going after the royal family? Whatever the question was, you see Prince Harry do that as well. Now remember, the limbic system, that autonomous part of the brain has kicked in there. Although the words that they're trying to get out, all right, is trying to portray a certain image, and the image might be truthful. Nobody can deny at that particular moment what we see from Meghan Markle, what we see from Prince Harry. There's something going on there that just isn't right. The smile, the touch, the look down, it's not. I would be digging, I would be stopping. I was saying, well, asking questions around that particular area. And that, for me, the two of them have got something good. The two of them have got this narrative that maybe, as a couple, you have these private jokes, or you have that little look between each other. That's exactly what that is. But it's from a negative context because they want to say something, they know something negative has happened, or they're trying something negative. I can't put my finger on it, but the evidence is there. That's the detail you come to believe in Bruce for. So all of those little things start to build up. I'm actually really looking forward to the rest of the episodes here. Really looking forward to the rest of the episodes coming out. I wonder what else is going to occur. Remember, you think you're presenting the front, but that limbic system kicks in. Sometimes your body moves in a way that you're not even aware of. That's where Believe in Bruce is going to pounce. So remember, if you have enjoyed this, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave your comments below. What are you noticing? What are your opinions on Meghan and Harry? Remember, if you're a leader, manager, director, you want some training for your people, I will leave the link below. But the new episodes come out this week. I will be making more videos. If there's any angles that you'd like me to take on it, again, leave your comments below. You can also connect with me on Instagram. But more important than any of this, believe in Bruce. Please remember to be kind to yourselves and each other. The Think, Feel, Act Performance Enhancement Programme, helping to empower happier and higher performing teams to get more right first time by supporting people to be more in control of their thoughts and feelings.